that is there. Okay, so that's why we can get a accurate autocomplete. So somewhere here. So see, each ES6 ES6 features have been there in read.es6.d.ts. So ES 2015, ES 2006, 17, everything. So this is that read.ts. So DOM, you can get also the DOM properties like HTML document, some object like that. Okay. So we will see this in more detail in my demo, next demo. So first we will cover the remaining fundamentals. So now where we are. Functions. See what is function? Function is this can be a function, but generally function is termed as some entity ka method is called as function. Generally, this is also a function, but this represents some entity. So we can't really call it as a function, but it is a function. But suppose I have something like this. This function, this. So this can be done as function, but that is also a function. But that if you look at it holistically, it is not a function. It is representing an entity. So same thing, we are going to add a function over here. So that has little different syntax like ES6. So how we can add a function? So suppose I want to add some function. Generally we used to do this thing. Function name, give, function description, but over here it is TypeScript is complaining that function is unexpected token. Function can't be recognized. So it is by ES6 as well. It is not a valid syntax. It will work in ES6, but it is not a valid syntax because whenever it comes to a function, you will face a problem related to this. I don't know how many people got it, but whenever you are in some function and you wanted to access the parent this context inside the child this, you have to explicitly define it as a global. Like you have to store it somewhere in a global so that via lexical scoping it will be available. Otherwise, you have to use arrow functions, which is nothing but a ES6 feature. Otherwise, you have to do explicitly dot bind dot this. So I will suggest to read on that. I mean those kind of methods. But this is not a valid syntax. So what you can do is this is correct valid syntax. So over here, this is the function, and inside that you can use same thing what I wrote here. See, I use that what is that called? Backstick. So backstick is used. It has been introduced by ESC. So for we used to do string concatenation by plus plus, and that looks weird when it is a big string. So they include the syntax in it. Now we can use it. So over here, whenever I wanted to use any variable inside a string, I just need to wrap it with a double curly braces, start with the dollar. Okay. I can say I and see. So I return some string from my function. So see, TypeScript is saying that this is a function and this will return a string. That is nothing but a type inference feature of a TypeScript. So internally it treats that it is returning a string, so that is a string. So if you wanted to do it explicitly, you one more thing, if you compare it with the other OOP language, generally types have been defined before. String A is equal to, in JavaScript also it is string A is equal to new string, or string number, where B is equal to new number. So, but this thing is a little different. After your variable name, you should be annotating your type. So same thing has been followed in F sharp. If someone knows, it is a Microsoft language that has been came 2 3 years back. F sharp language. So they are using same convention. The data types are mentioned afterwards. Yeah. We can call it method. And that will give do you know what was that? I was trying to put so we will read it. Now interfaces. So how many can anyone define it? What is interface? I mean, just a general question. Anyone who is from OOP background or something? Just to that classes structure. Yes. Relations of access modifier. Okay. So before access modifier, oh yeah. So yeah, by default TypeScript, whatever variable you define, it is a public by default. And if you wanted to make it explicitly private, you can do it. Yeah, we will visit that. Yeah, I will show you right away. But yeah, by default, any variable you define or any method you define, it is a public method. Okay, so the next question is that if we are defining some access modifier, are these classes meant to be inherited like groups? Yes. Yes, they are. I mean, if you are following inheritance and you try to access the parent ka private property, that will not available inside a child, because it is a private and that meant to be there inside a parent only. So when we cover inheritance using classes, we will cover that part. Just two questions. Yes, yes. When we are saying that we have these capabilities like hooks in TypeScript, so is the TypeScript is meant to be a client side only, or it can be the server side? That's a question. So you can use TypeScript with the Node.js, and Node.js can be a server side application. So, but at the end, TypeScript will generate a JavaScript. So it should be client side. No. I mean, Node.js is a JS framework which runs on a server side only. Imran, you can. Yes. I'm not familiar with Node. That's why I'm not able to answer that.
So Node.js is nothing but a server-side programming language. We can use JavaScript as a synthetical approach. Just we have to ignore the DOM-related stuff in Node.js. Apart from that, overall system-related naming conventions and keywords we can use in Node.js. Okay, Node.js is not meant for DOM manipulation and all. So that is client-side stuff. So JavaScript is commonly used in Node.js as well as in client-side programming language. Difference is DOM-related stuff. Okay. So apart from that, TypeScript is nothing but a flavor which is written on top of JavaScript, and it provides extra feature like strict typing. So JavaScript by default nature is loose typing. Loose typing means whatever we are assigning to the variable, it will automatically convert that variable type. So that TypeScript allows you to write a code in other language like Java and all. So we can take that advantage of that type of flavor of language. Okay. So that type of language basically use stick typing, Java and all. So if anybody interested to add such kind of stick typing in JavaScript, they can utilize this TypeScript stuff. It is just a flavor on top of JavaScript in short. Okay.
That's why I was thinking that it is the client side or server.
No, see,
It is a client side and it will.
no, I mean, see, at the end, TypeScript.
Yeah, sure. Why?
Yeah,
It is
I'd like
like
to add about a Node. So Node is just an environment. It's created by the Google. Okay. What they did is it is on C++ they built Node. Okay. And it's, what it does is actually it ultimately uses JavaScript. The JavaScript runs on that environment, so which is weird in it. Okay. So it is a server side. Server side is now at JavaScript is a server side language. We can say ultimately whatever the things you Java browser doesn't understand that TypeScript or any other language. Okay, it understands only the JavaScript. So TypeScript is just for the our user friendliness that we don't understand. We want TypeScript and all those things. So that's the thing. So you can use TypeScript at server side or client side. That doesn't matter.
so. Your question was, how can I use TypeScript on the server side? I will say yes, because JavaScript can be used on a server side. So TypeScript is nothing but what? TypeScript will generate JavaScript. You got it?
And Node environment is built on C++. And as we know that C++ is a server-side language, we can use it for. You just you write syntax in your JavaScript, so it basically calls the internal API of C++ and it does the stuff of whatever. So that's
It is one more.
TypeScript is just an abstraction over JavaScript. And whatever you can do using through JavaScript can be done through TypeScript. Whatever JavaScript can run, so in Node or as well as on client side browser, you can take anything from that. So you can write a TypeScript and transpile it into JavaScript and run it in Node. As well as you can do that, the same thing in browser. And mainly, if you work on JavaScript, I don't know about that, but basically, when we work on JavaScript, so it has no type. You can just var a. So a can be anything. It can be string or int or it internally converts to that particular type. So that's why mainly developer confused what is passed. Something we don't understand. So to avoid all this, and when you have a huge application. And so proper type safetyness you have to do. That's why they introduce the TypeScript.
Does it support for server-side as well? But you answer that well, it can be used for server-side as well using Node. Yeah, if you are not going to use Node, so then does it make sense to use object-oriented features of this TypeScript? Because most of the object-oriented features are used at server-side, right? Or there are any cases we can use at client side. So that is actually
Actually, the best question I would answer that the object, everything we can refer as an object in real world. If you want to relate the any technical stuff, we wanted to relate it to the real world. So that's why object is anything. Anyone can use it, whether it's a JavaScript or Java, doesn't matter. So that I would say, and it doesn't matter if you use object oriented. Basically, JavaScript is a prototypal nature. So it built for the means prototypal inheritance it uses. Initially, it was not in the mind of like a real world object and all, but now it is trying to do that stuff. So we can use it.
So basically, if you want to make the whole photo structure of backend into UI, so you follow the same structure of backend on UI using like.
Kunal, do you want to add something?
Today, I wanted to make it clear about server side and client side. I have switched languages for particular backend. .NET, C#, .NET, C#. It might have some compiler to run it, right? Now, let's say if I make that compiler or the virtual machine, whatever it runs on, I make that available in the browser. Will you call C# for client side available? It's just used as client side. Exactly. Same as when it does. It's just used as service. It is built for client side. But now it has been started using it as a
Yes, same Apple applets can be one example. It's Java. The applets are made in Java, right? Java is a server-side language or client-side. And the client-side,
it's mostly new to web.
Yes, yes, sir. We are clearing
This
the
is
concept.
the basic topic.
That might be common question for most of us.
And one more thing I wanted to add, like you said you are from C# background. So C# C# internally converts a code into C++. And C++ talks with the machine. I mean that gets converted into
Code gets converted to MSI. Bit code, byte code.
Byte, yeah, machine level.
Then it gets converted into assembly language.
Yeah.
Process.
Yes.
Yeah.
I read something. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing might be here. As I am very new to this web application side, so my perception was that mostly JavaScript is used for the web application. So when we are saying like that, we can use it at server side, right? And then how it is used, because either we are what do you say, I'll make one more example. Yeah, like, but on in Java, or in might have some libraries to make some service call. Some libraries to make the virtual call, create files. Right? All those APIs, OS level APIs, are not made available in Java. And that code, you can write it in JavaScript and you can use it in Java. So using Node.js has nothing but a API layer to interact with the OS. Okay. So in Node.js, you cannot write a Node.js code. And there's some certain kind of code which you can run only in Node.js and not on client. That is possible. So for example, you can write your own C++ code to do some, let's say, to plot the C2 cycle, to change the C2 cycle. You write your own C2. You can compile it in a way that it is exposed in JavaScript. There is a layer which you can basically compile your C++ code in a way that it is exposed via JavaScript. That is what Node is. In Node, you write the code in JavaScript, but at the end, it is going to make API calls of C++. So those are made available in Node. So you can write, do a file write, you can do a CQ, you can do anything with the process, you can spawn a new child process. But that you cannot do on the process. Right? So that is when anybody says that you can also now do it on server side. It's because of Node providing one level API. You can write JavaScript to interact with it. And hence Java is a server side. It's a server side language. Okay.
in JavaScript is used to build databases. Yeah.
Mongo is built in C++. It has interaction of you can write code or you can write your query with us. But actually,
Okay, so where classes comes and I wanted to show you the inheritance in a like there are classes, so there there must be inheritance. Likewise, I can give an example of we have some requirement where we have to generalize some like entities and there will be a specialized entities. Like you can take an example of vehicle. So I can have a vehicle that can be two-wheeler or that can be four-wheeler. But if I'm going to create a separate class for two-wheeler or four-wheeler, so there will be a some kind of common property will be there in each two classes. So what I'm going to do over here, I will define one parent class which will be vehicle, and that will have name and that will have color, something like that. And then the child will define how many wheels you have. I mean, the child will have that specialized information. As much as you go down, you will have a specialized characteristics of each class. So over here, we will just take an example of vehicle, and we will implement inheritance.
Before we move ahead, I just have a question in the code. Can you please control that? So, like we have, as you said that if we are not using any access modifier, it is public, right? But when we are writing that get person description method, we are used like employee.get person description. I thought it is being used as a static method.
No,
So
it
I'm
also
getting
is.
confused.
Whenever I say new, so what new did is you created a new instance inside a constructor. All the properties got binded to that context. And then whenever I say, hey, I have an instance and I want the inner property. So that's why I have to
I
say
just
that.
confused. Okay.
So I am going to return the medical class. Then that will have to. So basically, even if I am not basically they have a so over here, I just pass through the two parameters in the constructor. So it goes to this one. Okay? So I'm going to whatever the language is going to create one class called as
Guys, we are extending our session for a few more minutes. So it is okay? I think go for next, please. I think
so here I define car class and then I do the same way with Java. For now, I am just which I define that. So, and that is extending the vertical. So for now, just let's create one object of car. So see what is happening over here. Internally, it is getting transpiled that down to JS only. We will see that code. But over here, what I did declare a class which is a vehicle which sits on the parent side, and there I declare one more class where I said that extends. I mean, vehicle car is a child of a vehicle. So what that will do is the properties of a vehicle will be available inside a child. So and one more I think I wanted to show you over here where I don't have to see what will happen. So when I say I wanted to declare I wanted to create a new instance of a car. To see how that came, I mean name string, color string. So because it has implicitly taken the I mean even if we haven't specified that constructor, there is a constructor which is asking for a new property, something like this. I mean implicitly a class add that behind the scene, right? It is there, constructor for the derived classes must contain the super class. So when it wasn't there, it explicitly calling a parent constructor. But over here now, when I defined that implicit went away, that implicit constructor, and thereafter I have to do I have to call super keyword. And even if there is there any method, is there any method, you can do from using super keyword. So super keyword is nothing but it holds the context of a parent. I can be with the prototype, basically the prototype. Okay. And one more thing, suppose I made a color property of the driver. Okay. So let's see what happens. When I say that I wanted to achieve this. And by the instance we can access its property. Over here you can see only name and text. You can't see you can't really see color. But yeah. So that is what the abstraction layer is, and that is where public access comes into. This is what do you want me to run this code? Because I wanted to go fast. I took around the link. So thereafter, these two things, which is like the same thing, what I can do is yeah, I can find it. Yeah, so my question, I asked the question, anyone know interfaces? Yeah.
The interface is something like that we can expose to the outside world for different models so that they can interact with our libraries. So this is my interface, and we call using methods or this is my behavior or this is my attribute. So the rest of the things we can take.
Yeah. So it is nothing but a code contract. I mean, when we say that I wanted to implement an interface or I am consuming it, I will have those many properties or those many methods which are exposed to it, and I have to implement them. I don't have any option. So, you, like what the best example which I can give is uh, you are asking your developer to do something, and you are just providing one interface. Take this interface. There should be three methods, and you should be putting a code. I mean, inside a three method only. Just for example, I'm giving that. You should not be you should not be scattered all the logic throughout. Like he may do it in a 10 different method. I know that is not good example, but the way interface works is you have some code contract and whoever consuming it, we have to implement it. Okay. So here instead of getting the define as a class, I can do get the as an interface as well. So say suppose I wanted to define one variable which is variable. I wanted to provide a value to it. So as soon as I am typing, it will show up you can type name, color, and if I do something, if I try to violate that interface, uh, intelligence wasn't there. So see, it is clearly saying that you have, you have an interface, but names, it should have a skeleton like name, color. The the last statement, object literal may only specify known property that will not be allowed. So in some cases, you might replace your classes with an interface. If I would say that go for an interface, because if you look at the transparent version of this code, transparent interface with JavaScript, it has projects. This is a magic. See, you can't see that interface code anywhere inside your JavaScript. Even if I have a type interface that resembles a code contract between my variable, in my transfer JavaScript, it isn't there. It's just used for a typing purpose by TypeScript compiler. So many of the time you could go for an interface instead of creating a class, because class generates a code and an interface doesn't.
So the trick to remember in JavaScript, we can utilize interface whenever you are defining any object. So if you want to use any object have a number of properties. So you can take advantage of interface over there.
And the bigger advantage is it doesn't produce any. Like, means you are just saving your few bytes of memory when it is shipping up. Modular namespace. So I think it's part of this by theory only. So, let me open up this.
You can show code snap if you
So,
have.
I have the modular namespace is nothing but earlier what was happening whenever we define any function or any class, not a class, any function or any method that gets resembles to the window object of the global object of your JavaScript. So thereafter, people will use this approach like, why don't we create a namespaces by our modules? Like, suppose we have a application and that is HR application. So HR can have an admin, HR can have some some other processing unit. So by that way, when we look at the code, we can create each separate module for each internal module. Like we can relate them with like that. Also. So in code as well, you can create a modules. So over here, you can see a code like where I say that this is nothing but a TypeScript file. So it has an interface with a string validator. Okay. Then again, I define one constant which is number regex. Then there is one more function, not a function. This is a class which is a zip code validator, and I have placed export before each of them. So you might be wondering what is export. So TypeScript has one feature. Actually, ES6 has that feature. So you can have a multiple function. You can have 100 function inside your TS file, but you can have a control over them to allow them these three methods which are exported. Those methods can be utilized by the whoever the consumer of that JS file. You got it? Okay. So this is and the module is nothing but I'm saying that each function can be treated as a module. Not function, full module का. I am just returning a few things, and there I maintain an abstraction. Okay, so there before this concept was known as module, but module came in the year 6. Then TypeScript TypeScript decided to do something else called as namespaces. So thereafter, since I guess TypeScript 1.8 namespaces got added into that. So they were getting a conflict with their functionality and this functionality. So namespace is nothing but again the upper version of it. Like namespace can have module. Last slide was there were a module. So in C Sharp or in any OOP language, we do create a when we import some library, it has some namespace, and that in that namespace it declares some classes, it declares some functionality, and we use it. And as soon as we do import statement using uh, that library name, both the functionality get added. I mean, I can use that whole functionality in my code. The same thing. The validation has many modules, but out of each C, the two constant, those were their letter regex and number regex. So those are not exportable. So that I can't use by using validation. So this is that. There is one more thing called as generics, which is very popular in OP language. In this,
How do we use that if we are exporting something? We can class uh, export interface. I can use that import
Yes,
that
import.
class, right?
Import.
But when we are using namespace, how it's supposed to be imported?
so you should first specify namespace.
So it would be like validation dot that interface.
Namespace means then your function name. Validation dot whatever.
In the modules, which, if I want to export any module, so it has to wrap the inside and this case, right?
For
Namespace
this,
can
it's not necessary.
It's
No,
not
means, yeah, namespace is not, I would say if you want to means collision, you don't know collision. And also, it's better to use namespace. Super happy. And otherwise, you just export any particular variable or even single variable. Let's say you have here, export it. So that will be available. in
So
your
best example
back.
is database. Database has database, then schema, then table. So database is nothing but you can consider it as a namespace. Schema is nothing but you can consider it as a model. And tables are all the functions. So generally, this is a feature where I can there are many cases where in application we do have single function and that performs many operations based on what it is retrieving. Okay, so over there you can use the generics. So generics is nothing but where you will use T type of that is called as type. So it is a generic type. I mean, over here I gave an example of array. So basically, what I am doing is logging identity, and I am expecting an argument of type T. So type T meaning it can accept anything, custom type, or it can be a predefined type as well. So, but what I'm doing inside that is just for a demonstration. The actual function will not look like this. I just return a type of whatever the argument I'm returning. But there will be, based on type, I will have a if loop. Suppose take an example of a file upload. Okay, I have a file upload as a base class in my in my application, and there that file upload can be of admin, that file upload can be of purchase model or something like that. So there I can say I can take a child type like purchase model, and thereafter what I can see if the type of the argument is purchase model, then do call the purchase model का whatever file upload. Then next will be admin model. If it is admin model, then do call that particular model. So this kind of logic can be handled by generics. Okay. Yes. This is not meant for that. So you mean to say you wanted to extend the definite type. So what I would suggest you to look into mixins. So mixins is one of the function which has been provided by TypeScript. So where what you can do is you can extend the functionality of whatever the inbuilt definitions. Like here we have a DOM ka, definitions. So what mixins does is it collects all the mixins from other existing things, and you can have object over there and you can extend them. Like extension methods are known for that in programming language. So, you got your answer.
I have a question. How does it differ from any? If it is generic, that any and any data type is, so it could be anything, right?
So yeah, I mean, okay.
Any is a default. Yeah, go ahead.
No, no, no. So that will be considered as a type of. This is a T is nothing but a generic convention. So whatever it is internal, I can have a T variable that holds the value of that prototype. Yeah. So
Inside closing a different field.
yeah,
You can also return R.
yeah,
R will be of type key what you can pass.
yes, yes.
That is great. That cannot be anything what
But this question is also valid. What you say that why we don't have value over there?
because I think
Yes, yes.
because from generic point of view, it is type checking. So
Yeah.
it is strict type checking. And in case of strict type checking, it will select compiler. So that compiler will be
There also inheritance will come into picture when this kind of thing happens.
Actually, generic is used for when you wrote a generic algorithm.
Yes.
Right? You create an algorithm for numbers.
Okay.
And you want to use the same algorithm for float or double.
Okay.
So you don't need to write again a new algorithm. So you can use the key as passing once a number or double or float or anything. So the algorithm is reusable. So what is saying that any, right? Any is a very different thing that can't be used for this algorithm. Whatever you have written that something over there, it won't be used. How can you just put a string in this algorithm? Not possible. It will break it.
Admin model.
So your team, if you write any, it will be always object because it will be passing object. But in case of TypeScript, it will pass purchase order or it will always be a class. So you will get purchase order or
But in JavaScript, it is not that OOP of server side. You can always, if you ask type of any, it will return you correct. Yeah,
it will always be so if it's an object, it will be an object.
no, but even if you have, I mean, if you are passing any, the function will not look like this. It will be not type of T. It will be just argument any. Okay,
Like,
but
talking on your example, if we are comparing, if it is about float, number, any type of arguments, in a function as well, if login identity is my any type of function, internally I can write a switch case if the type is type of any or type of that parameter is string or whatever.
You can write it, but it won't be
Yes,
good in the architect wise, right?
Yeah, that's the the advantage or that's the something
maybe
that
that
I'm
is
trying
what
to find.
the way JavaScript works is different, and the way OOP works, that is pure OOP. And but here, what we are by having a TypeScript, we are just mimicking the type system in JavaScript. So that is not a pure. So yeah, your question is also valid, that is totally valid on server side. So there is one more thing which has been introduced by TypeScript with Enum. So most of the time more verbose code, more readable code, we use Enum to just to have one value, string value to represent one number, something like that. It happens when we are dealing with I can say account type kind of field. So account type internally in a database, it is known for ID like 1, 2, 3, 1 for saving, 2 for current, and 3 for something else. So over here, what you can do, you can define one enum saying that the first one would be saving, the second one would be current, and third one would be something else. Like it is internally, it will be pointing to some integer only, and there we can explicitly specify that saving equal, instead of Java, saving equal to 1. Or if you have any other number as well, you can define the number. So the introduction, I think enum is very important to make your code more readable. And there is an example like I define one enum and say that language is a language of Java. So thereafter I try to assign something else to the language. So it will not allow saying that string is not assignable to type language. Okay. There is no single person. I mean, for a typing system, from Google there is a Dart, and from uh, I guess the topic is for Python users. I guess. Python, right? Yeah. So it also has a type system.
Ruby.
Yes. So now the next part is the data. How much time we have?
So it's up to audience. Can we go ahead? Only one demo is remaining.
So there I created one application which is Angular 1 application, to-do application, and that is built on Angular 1 with ES5, which is a plain JavaScript. So so I use Angular 1.6 to build it. So I just wanted to just go overview. I mean, just wanted to clear the what that application is, so that while we are migrating from Angular 1 not normal ES5 to TypeScript, so that will be easier for me. So over there, the application looks similar like this. This is the application. Simple to-do application where you can manage your to-do list. You can add new to-do and anything. Here it will show the to-do list, and you can select to-do as a completed, and you can delete as well if you want. And you can clear the completed to-do by clear completed. So this is a very simple application built with Angular 1. So I just wanted to give you an overview of our application. So there there I used Angular component, which is a new feature of 1.6. So there I have a main app component. Inside that I have divided my application into a different parts. What I thought is I wanted to show some list, so there should be some container to show that list. So for that, what I did is I did created one to-do list component. So to-do list will be container for your all the to-do items. Okay, and what to-do list will do? To-do list will ask server for getting all the to-dos, and I mean that will be responsible for what to-do item should do. Okay, and what to-do items will have. So thereafter inside that to-do list component, I have a multiple to-do items. So basically, I just looked over the whatever the collection to-do list has been provided. So this is the application, and the HTML is simpler, as I was saying. So I have app component, to-do list, to-do item, and it, and I am passing the item to my to-do item component. And here I have a clear button, and here I have a tabs, and on top I do have a add new to the button. Okay. Let's we will migrate this application to TypeScript. And this code you can find on with that. I can share the link. What you have to do this. So what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to migrate this application to TypeScript. So do you want to see the code? I mean, do you want me to walk through the code? So I can do that. Yes or no?
Yeah, you can.
So here the first thing what I'm going to do is I will first configure a TypeScript into my project. So I will have TypeScript written already. I will just add.
So this is complete JavaScript project. So he's converting from JavaScript to TypeScript for demonstration.
I mean, just for demo, I mean that will be available there. I'm just for a demo purpose. This I'm assuming that this project doesn't have a TypeScript. So we are just migrating a simple application, just application to TypeScript. So I'm again going to add a few extensions. I'm targeting this one. Slash app. Then I have to define a variable. So now I configure a TypeScript. So as soon as I run TSC in the command line, it will run the TypeScript. So for now we don't have any TypeScript. That's why and it doesn't do anything. So basically, let me do that. Let me first. I have one service which is responsible for doing activity, removing operations, get tags, and all the basic operations which are going to be performed with the help of server. It is going to communicate with server. So I have in one service. So just convert to that to here. So as soon as I do that, I got two errors, which is saying that it is not valid. And the other one is Windows or Angular isn't present. So don't bother about it. And for that, if you want to see storage of you and here JavaScript, even if you don't, I mean you have a JavaScript which is running. You just change the extension of that file to PS. So even if you that is not valid TypeScript, you want to compile it, so you have to provide a property called as on here. It is by default false. So actually this is not doing the thing. I mean, this will do the thing. So no data error means if you say it is true, it will not create a JavaScript file if anyone has any error. Okay. Just I'm explicitly specifying it so that you can understand. should be different. Whatever it is created in your can be given. Here I can say compile and save. So this will perform the watch. And this will take care of compile and save is nothing but a hyphen watch. So these are the app service typically same as that as what we have over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say that there was a file which was submitted. Now that will be that we should take it from app, I mean whatever I transfer. Okay. Just run the application. By saying npm start. It will host it and it will run it. Nothing to do on it. Good working. You can do the icon. So now we just rename the file. Now what we should be doing is we should give the features of the file. So what I'm going to do is I will change this function to class. And then we don't need to use this because actually internally uses closure. So this I use for a closure. I'll remove that. I'll just use the function to class. So now I don't need this thing where self is because we face this related issue. That's why we make self is equal to this on top of our function so that the lexical step will happen. So here see I have defined three variables, so that's three variables. So let's let that leave that. First I should remove this. That was binding to self, so I shouldn't be creating about. So I have saved so many functions, get to do this, get tabs and all. So let's convert them to the way it should be defined. Okay, I just remove the function. The function isn't correct syntax to define the function in the class. So just I remove the function. Okay. If there are anything we
Password should be continuous.
what are that? Yeah, that is I'm going to do. So I converted all the function now. Now looking into a variable, they should be defined. You can hear
And this class name should be continuous.
no.
So it's not.
So it isn't required that is really something. Now what I'm going to do is see. Here is what a function name. So is it a base file? Yes. Okay, fine. That's why it is a problem. See, when you have converted that, there are errors. So what it is saying? It is saying that cannot find the main count. If you mean that instance of member of count table. So we we are just referring to these concepts का काम. So this has been defined. Just replacing all the instances with the function. Those were suggesting that only. And one more thing, how many of you know like the function dot some property? So this is a concept called in I mean in JavaScript it is called as static variable. In OOP when you define a class and it has a static variable, it can be accessed directly with the class name, like class name dot the static variable. So same thing over here. So this is nothing but a static variable. So what I should be doing is I should be defining. It should get as a static inside a class. This will be static. So same, but the problem is still Angular isn't recognized by Angular compiler. But still it is not a problem. Let's see what it translates.
Don't.
This is a transparent see. This is the correct problem. And let's see what our application is working on. Okay, recently. So let's now the one file I mean just read and but I converted it to class. Then I will be looking at this app controller.js. Same thing will be applied. Okay. So what I will do is I will just I haven't taken this code. I thought that I will check it in front of you, but I will complete this and I will check it. I will put it down in a meetup group. So these are the.
So we have GitHub account as well. So we will put over there, and we guys will do practice over there. Okay. So if anybody is interested for any mini project experiments kind of thing, we can you can join our team, and we will do experiments on coding practices. So we have a Slack group as well to interact for development. So you have to subscribe on JavaScripter.org. That's it. Yeah, we have our website javascripter.org. If you subscribe, then we will do that.
One last question. So what is the limitations and when we should not use TypeScript? So are there no cases
Not
or
exactly.
no issues that we should not use
That is
TypeScript for this type of
when developer is not comfortable. So that is a depend on developer. So
I mean,
that
team
is
strategy.
intent to help a developer practices. So if someone who is migrating from backend to UI,
that cannot be done in TypeScript, that we can do in JavaScript. So all everything we can do in TypeScript.
yes. That is superset. We can say TypeScript is a superset of Java.
So anyone have any question?
So first of all, thanks a lot for coming and joining our session. And we request you to rate our speaker on Meetup group itself. So we are going to give award to our speakers based on your rating. So that will be help for him. Okay.
Yeah, and if you wanted to reach out to me, I have that information.
Okay. So we want to take one pic with all you guys if you want.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
Just one question. How many of you have, or how many of you have built a bot? How many of you have already